Attention all coaches, athletes, track crew, and officials. Start of run number 2 is the 5-minute.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to the 9th EBERSPÄCHER FIL Luge World Cup, the World Cup finals here in YANQING, China, the site of the Beijing 2022 Olympic Winter Games. And we've just been treated to an action-packed first run of the men's double. This is Rieder Kainzwaldner, currently sitting in 4th place, who put down a very, very consistent first run. And then Wendl and Arlt currently in 2nd. Wendl and Arlt fighting and very likely to get their 6th overall title. And Plume are current leaders, who are in a straight shootout with Steu and Kindl for the 2nd place overall. Whoever finishes higher out of those two teams will win the 2nd place Crystal Globe. But it's looking highly likely that Wendl and Arlt are going to be winning their 6th overall title. And I'm joined by one of their teammates. I'm with Diana Eitberger of Team Germany, 2018 Olympic silver medalist and women's doubles specialist.
Hi to everyone.
It's great to have you back. Well, look, the ice has got a little bit warmer, just by a degree. That may make a difference on this second one, just having slightly softer ice.
It could be, but of course, sun is going down now. It's getting late, and if the sun is go down, maybe also the conditions on the ice is changing a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, and this track seems to be constantly changing with the weather. I've seen. We saw last night as the ice temperatures dropped and dropped. But I think with this World Cup finals being held here, we've been treated to so many great things, such as start records and what have you. But this track, it's so unique. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, in the upper part, it's very flat. There are a lot of curves, and we have to find the speed. Everything what happens before the Kreisel gives you the possibility to be fast in the end of the track.
That was really interesting watching those runs and how much those mistakes before Kreisel, how much they cost the teams.
Yeah, a lot of time.
And this is what you see when you're on your double sled, Diana. What do you see?
Yeah, now we see the corner A and B, so our start curves, and it have to be perfect to go in corner 3, and you need all the time the speed. You see it's a little bit, yeah, slower than we normal know, and so now we are in corner 5. It could be difficult. Yeah, it could be that you have to steer a little bit more. Now there's a compression after 6 to 9, going into 10, and then there is a lot of time to think about everything what happens in the back, because there's a 7 seconds to 10 seconds Kreisel, and now we are in the bottom part where you make the speed and you feel everything good what you love in the sport, because here's the passage for the speed, the dragon tail, and going into the finish.
And that uphill finish curve can be quite cruel as well, I guess, if you've made a mistake before it and you're heading uphill.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's an exciting track. We were saying earlier, there's nothing like this on the circuit.
Yeah, and it's also one of the longest track we have. We are hanging around just nearly a minute. Normally we have 38 seconds in Whistler, or until 45 seconds, and now 1 minute sliding. This is also tough for us.
Very true. There on the screen is what the athletes are fighting for, the overall World Cup trophy. I'll just go through the mathematics of it again. It's looking like Wendl and Arlt will win their 6th overall World Cup title tonight. The only way that they cannot is if they get disqualified and get 0 points. But then it's a straight competition between Steu and Kindl and Plume, and whoever finishes higher will win the silver Crystal Globe and be 2nd in the World Cup standings overall. But let's go to the other end of the pack, and starting us off for this second run is Tudor Handaric and Sevics-Mikelsevics of Romania. It's a huge spread between the top 6 and the final 5.
Yes, and nearly everything is open, because you need 2 runs, 2 clear runs, to be the best of this competition, and everything could happen to every time, and so maybe it could also be that it starts from point zero again.
Well, that's what makes it, I think, such a great track for a World Cup finals. A little cruel, because it's so difficult to put down 2 consistent runs. So 2 of the Handarics, Sebastian Motzca of Romania, get us started at the double start into those very tricky A, B, and then curve 3. Let's see how Handaric and Motzca handle it on the second run of this EBERSPÄCHER Men's Doubles World Cup. It doesn't take much, does it? Like that mistake was just a little touch.
It was, yeah, and the sled breaks out like Orlamuender and Gubitz had in the first run, and you see it's a tough work to handle the situation in curve 3, and now every speed is missing, and it could be that there are much more mistakes in the other corners.
Handaric Motzca there just earlier bumping onto curve 6 as well, which has proved to be an incredibly technical challenge for the doubles teams as they get time to get their heads together and think about what they're going to do in the second half of the track as they go around a very long 360-degree curve. 370-degree curve. Into 13, and this is leading into the Dragon's Tail. Just having to dab the feet, getting away with it, but having to make a few emergency steers. Handaric Motzca crossing the finish line with a 1:03.8 into the lead. As Bomi looks very shocked on the camera. But that's our Romanian pair. They had a tough time, but again, they've never been here. One of them was quite unwell with this flu that was going around the camp. So they were short of training runs as well. So I say hats off to every doubles team that's made the start this week. It's been a tough week there.
Yeah, and all people have my whole respect for this week. I managed the situation not so well, and so yeah, I think they are happy that it's over now. Sorry.
No, it's as we say, it's we've watched the training for the doubles, and
it hurts.
Been tough this week. So Sakei, Jubayi and Hou of China now. These guys are going to be looking to be doing the team competition later, which will be a fantastic return for the Chinese into the team competition. Not a bad top section.
Doing it much better. They are one of the athletes who have the most run on this track, of course. I am sure they want to show what they can do on this home track. And in the first run, they had a very big mistake in this part, and now they want to do this better. I hope they will have a great time in the end, and maybe we can see what time is possible in the second run.
Absolutely, and we were saying that, weren't we? That when we watched their first runs, there were incredibly good sections, but those singular mistakes can be so time-consuming. They're almost 4 seconds ahead, 129 kilometers as they go through the Dragon's Tail. That's a beautiful run from the Chinese, 4.2 seconds ahead with a 59.953. Incredible sliding from the home team there, and that's a little bit of redemption for the Chinese team after their first run.
Yeah. I think it could be possible that they can jump a few spots.
Yeah, maybe to 7th place, I'm thinking. Maybe. So great sliding from the home team. The home spectators starting to come in now. As you see right next to them, you've got to be careful with that double sled around them, are the crystal globes proudly on show. So the world champions, Orlamuender and Gubitz of Germany, they had a tough first run, a lot of mistakes. Again, the cruelty of this track, I'm trying to think of a better word for it, but it's just the tiny mistakes that turn into big mistakes, and they were on the end of that.
This is a special for this track. And it is because of the hard ice conditions.
So hopefully Orlamuender and Gubitz, our reigning world champions, will show us what they can do. Just having to dab the feet there, but making the best out of it, I think.
I think this way is the better way than hitting the wall and put the sled out of control.
Good survival skills.
Yeah.
Okay, but dropping a little bit of time. They've dropped almost a 10th at the top, and then having to drop the feet out of 6 as well. Come on, guys, get it together as they go into 10 and now into the Kreisel, where they have to get themselves back on track for the fast bottom section of the track. 12, fine. Onto that. That nub on the right-hand wall before 13. We saw yesterday in the women's singles and in the women's doubles how difficult that was for the teams to get through. So Orlamuender and Gubitz into second place. The world champions drop into second place, and Jubayi and Hou climb up another spot, as you prophesized, Diana.
I'm sorry for my teammate. I wish them that they will have a good run, but I know they also have a tough week, and they are not feel so confident. Yeah, do it again, he said, and we have to try it again. And it's a hard work to compete here with the doubles,
especially if you've never been here.
Yeah.
So this is Edward Sevics-Mikelsevics and Lucas Krasts of Latvia, having to do a little tap dancing into 3 there, but getting away with it again. There's a lot of mistakes happening on the top of the track. It feels like more than before so far.
Yeah, it could be that. Of course, we saw the conditions of ice getting a little bit warmer, but just 1 degree, it's like nothing. This is much better than the first run on this part of the track. Big skid there, also problems. And now
currently the Latvian teams with a 1/4 of a second lead, but where it's going to be incredibly telling is on the next split, the 150 split. That's where we're going to see how much time those mistakes have lost. As they go very early to 13, but just missed the wall. They've got 7 thousandths of a second to play with down the Dragon's Tail. Big skid down the Dragon's Tail, trying to keep the sled on its stills and crossing the finish line with the feet down. The Chinese climb another spot, and Sevics-Mikelsevics and Krasts of Latvia drop into second place, back by 1/5 of a second. That was shaping up to be an okay run at the top, but then a lot of mistakes in the bottom.
Yeah, and it costs also time. Also, if you have your feet down on the ice, but you see he works so hard to control the sled, and it's not so easy. Good result for the Chinese athletes, and I think this is one of the best results they ever have.
It's a wonderful result for Team China, Jubayi and Hou. But and when we talk about athletes making mistakes, we need to realize these are the best in the world, and this is a real challenge, probably the biggest challenge the teams have had this season.
Yeah.
So Hoi and Kachmar of Ukraine, 3/4 of a second almost ahead of the competition. But as we've said, it's tough to put down 2 consistent runs on this track, but Hoi and Kachmar looking to do exactly that. We saw track records earlier down this track. Nice and smooth on the start there from the Ukrainians. And I think that's one of the best start curves we've seen.
Of course, one of the safeties.
Yeah. So Hoi and Kachmar starting to stretch out in these top curves. They're losing a little bit of that lead, though. They've lost about 600ths of a second in that section. So they're going to need to be incredibly clean and smooth and relaxed, but making a good job of curve 6 through those chicanes to curve 9. And 10 transition to Kreisel, looking good.
Yeah, this could be very tight now because the Chinese athletes, they had such a good time in the end. And of course the experience, they lose much more time. Now there's a critical point.
Sideways down the Dragon's Tail, just power sliding a bit there into the red, so this needs to be perfect out of finish curve. And back into 3rd place. The Chinese climb another spot, 0.3 of a second back, and just turning into be an incredible race for Jubayi and Hou. And Hoi and Kachmar just losing time from those little mistakes in the top again.
Yeah, of course. It could also be because I didn't see so many mistakes. It could also be that the experience plays a big role if you're laid down very confident on your sled. It could be that you gain the time with it, and if you have not so many runs, there's a little bit more pressure and more strength on you, and you just want to go to the finish in the best way you can.
So Zach Di Gregorio and Sean Hollander of the United States of America. Now this is where it's starting to get interesting, because there's a big gap between where Hoi Kachmar were and where the Chinese are, and where the times of Di Gregorio and Hollander are. And it's looking like between 6th place and 2nd place, it's not separated, it's separated by about 2/10 of a second. So Di Gregorio Hollander could, with a good run, climb up a few spots. And it's looking good here with 2.3 seconds in the lead at the moment. So if they are faultless, they will be our new leaders. But as we've seen on this track, consistency is the key. 10-2 Kreisel, though, looking smooth there, and a nice flat line through Kreisel as well. Minimizing friction through the Kreisel.
A little tough into curve 12, but yeah, it works. It works well. Now we have a big skid there.
And round the finish curve, still in the green though. We have a new leader by 2.5 seconds. Zach Di Gregorio and Sean Hollander of the USA knock Jubayi and Hou off the top spot. But Jubayi and Hou, I think, can be incredibly proud of a job well done today. And they're probably thinking, what could we have done if we'd have done that on the first run? Because the Chinese, I thought, looked fantastic.
Yeah, when you look on the time of Di Gregorio, and it was just 2 or 3 tenths faster than the Chinese team.
But a great run there from Di Gregorio and Hollander, with the exception of the Dragon's Tail where they had a little problem, but Di Gregorio and Hollander keeping it together and keeping their number 6 spot. So now hoping to climb up a bit, but not if Tony Eggert and Florian Mueller have anything to say about it. Tony Eggert, during the Olympics here, won a silver medal in the men's double with Sasha Beneken, his old backman. He then took a bit of time off from the sport and came back just as strong, just as talented, and he's looking good here.
Yeah, he tried to fight and to find a time in the upper part, a little bit early on 6, but ended very well.
And building time,
yeah.
As we can see, we've gained 1/10 of a second already. Now up to 3/10 lead.
Yeah, of course, he always wants to win races. And, you know, Tony so long, and he wants to have perfect runs and also be the best of the world.
Tony again, starting the season so well with a win in Lillehammer, crossing the finish line into first place by over half a second, ahead of Di Gregorio and Hollander, who put down a solid run as well from the USA. Eggert and Mueller of Germany are your new leaders.
With a great time of 59.14. This is faster than the first run.
Very impressive. Still a long way off the track record set during the Olympics of a 58.2. It's almost a second off, which just shows how fast the track was during the games. But this track still throwing up a lot of challenges for the athletes. But Eggert and Mueller taking it all in their strides, looking very solid there, sliding into first place. Now, here starts the battle for the second place in the overall. Steu and Kindl currently ranked in 4th. They're going to need to do something special to move ahead of Botts and Plume. But as we've seen, it's tough to put down 2 solid runs on this track. Wolfgang Kindl having an incredible weekend last weekend. Big start from the boys there. But Wolfgang Kindl winning 3 gold medals in a weekend, 1 in the mixed, 1 in the singles, and 1 in the doubles last weekend. But they're already back by 7 thousandths of a second.
They are in Corp 4, and yeah, they try to they try to be to find a time in the track and be faster than the first run. Of course, they want to stay in this position or getting better.
Yeah, absolutely. Steu and Kindl starting to build again, almost a 10th now.
Clean run from now, but now we are coming in the next interesting part, the bottom part with 30. There's a big skate.
It's going to cost Steu and Kindl trying to keep it together through the Dragon's Tail as they come towards the finish curve. Steu and Kindl, that big hit before 13, costing them a ton of time. Back into second place. Eggert and Mueller stay in first place, moving up one. Steu and Kindl back by half a second.
And now we see it again. It was a big crash, it was a big hit on the right side, right straight before curve 13, and then it's hard to keep the sled in control.
Definitely hard to keep it in control with these tiny mistakes turning into big, big skids down the track. So next up for Italy, currently sitting in bronze medal position. This is Emanuel Rieder and Simon Kainzwaldner of Italy.
These guys are one of my favorites this week. They had a great week and great training all the time, and maybe they can have a happy end now in the final race of the season.
Absolutely, Rieder and Kainzwaldner making a good start, as they did in the first run, consistent through those top curves. And they've got 600ths to play with here.
Uses 200ths of a second, but of course he's still fighting. Tony Eggert, he had a big time in the end of the run, and now they need also a perfect run.
Trying to get that perfect run through the bottom section of the track, but it's all square with Eggert and Mueller to the thousandths of a second on that split, so they're going to need to find the turbo through the bottom section of the track as they go into the red. Let's see where we're at with this 147 split. Back by 400ths of a second. But a good Dragon's Tail, that's going to help their cause as they come up the hill towards the finish. Stretching out across the finish line, but still back in second, back by 1.5 tenths. That means Eggert and Mueller move into bronze medal position, and Rieder Kainzwaldner just dropping back a spot from third place.
Yeah, and these guys are one of the consistent athletes of the day until now. They had 2 perfect runs and no mistakes, and I'm sorry for them that for this moment they moved a spot in the back.
Absolutely. So in silver medal position now and looking to win the overall, this is Tobias Wendl and Tobias Arlt of Germany. Really need no introduction, these two. The Tobys, the World Cup leaders.
Olympic gold medalist on this track.
Olympic gold medalists on this track, so and I'm assuming that makes such a difference to your mental state when you come to a track, if you have good memories of that track.
Yeah, absolutely. It helps a lot.
When you came to Pyeongchang, you must have been thinking, even though you're in a different discipline, my last memory of this was punching the air and taking a silver medal.
It was so emotional.
So Wendl and Arlt keeping that lead up by almost 6 tenths here. Huge lead from Wendl and Arlt over Eggert and Mueller. Making 6 to 9 look easy there as they go through that deep, deep compression and out again. And now into this long, long Kreisel.
Looking very relaxed.
Yeah, that top section was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yes.
Take that long, long straightaway again to 12, and here 13, into 13 safely, building on that lead up to 7 tenths, 3/4 of a second, just dabbing the feet, but no problem down the Dragon's Tail. We're going to have a new lead, 123 kilometers an hour. Wendl and Arlt into first place, up by 3/4 of a second and change, and punch in the air as they're very used to doing. That is Wendl and Arlt. pretty much guaranteed the overall title. As I say, the only thing that could stop them is a disqualification, but that's highly unlikely to happen. And now we're just waiting for see if Bots and Plume can ruin the party and bring home a gold medal for Latvia. Beautiful flat line through Kreisel we're seeing here.
Yeah, and look, so relaxed. He knows what to do on this track. He has so many so good experience.
So our final sled of the day in this doubles competition. Martins Bots and Roberts Plume have put themselves in a position where they can come home with gold.
Of course, they saw the time of Tobias and Tobias Wendl and Tobias Arlt, and they know they need also a perfect run to save them first position.
Just dropping into the red there, though. They're back by 300ths. They're going to have to try and find some time before Kreisel here. Looking good, though, from curve 6 up that hill, out of the compression. Very early to 10. And they're still losing time. They're back by 700ths.
9 to 12. Just put the back head, the head back, but 14.
Well, they're putting up a fight with that dragon's tail, aren't they? That was beautiful. They're crossing the finish line into silver medal position. Bots Plume. That makes Wendl Arlt our winners today for Team Germany, and also the overall winners of the EBERSPÄCHER Luge World Cup in men's doubles. Beautiful exit 13 from Bots.
Yeah, it was.
One of the best we've seen, I think.
Yeah.
So they were fighting all the way to the end.
Yeah, you have to, because you don't see the time when you're sliding, except from the part of the Kreisel where you can see a short moment if it's red or green. But I think they are happy. They fight for the second overall for the position.
I mean, Bots Plume had 2 podiums this year already. I mean, 2 first place wins this year. But quite rightly, the spoils of victory going to Wendl Arlt, winning gold here in the World Cup final, and also winning the overall title for the 6th time in their career. Just incredible stats.
Yeah, they are like a good old wine.
Yeah.
No, like a good wine.
Yeah, definitely.
The older one gets the better, or the older one is the better one.
Yeah, age doesn't seem to affect them, does it?
Yes.
So as we see, there's the roof that you can walk all the way along on above this beautiful track here in YANQING, China. Wendl Arlt first, Bots Plume second, Eggert and Mueller third, Rieder and Kainzwaldner fourth, Steu and Kindl in 5th. Great sliding from all the competitors, with sickness in the camp this week, and also some big injuries for their fellow competitors, and just tough training times all week. As we see our podium here, and presenting the trophies will be Dwight Bell, Secretary General of the FIL. Each getting their own panda to take home. I like this panda. It's a nice touch.
Yeah.
And they'll be taking home much more than that, as 2 of these teams on the podium will be taking home crystal globes of their own. Bots Plume, 2nd place crystal globe, and Wendl Arlt, a 1st place crystal globe. But for now, let's celebrate this World Cup win with arguably one of the greatest doubles team ever to take the ice, Wendl Arlt of Germany. Incredible race, Diana.
Yeah, tough ways also.
So tough.
I promised it could be exciting like yesterday, the women doubles race, and it's not so easy to slide here. And so the best will be at the top of the podium.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this shows why it's really important for us to continue having races in this part of the world, because we saw so much entertainment in Pyeongchang and so much entertainment here in YANQING. As we see the final standings, Wendl, Arlt, Bots, Plume and Steu and Kindl, the top 3 in the men's EBERSPÄCHER World Cup standings. Eggert and Mueller 4th, Orlamuender and Gubitz 5th, Müller-Frauschauer staying in 6th, Gatschop in 7th. Incredible World Cup season for the doubles, I think. We've had so many different teams on the podium. And I think a special mention has to go to that Chinese team as well, who just had a wonderful race today.
Yes, and maybe the best result of their career until now.
And here we see Ines Figalis presenting the Crystal Globes for the overall. The bronze Crystal Globe going to Steu and Kindl. The silver Crystal Globe to Bots and Plume.
The most respect to Wolfgang Kindl.
Yeah, doing double duty.
Now we have our winners, Tobias and Tobias, for the 6th time. The best wine we ever had.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Just a wonderful, just showing how it should be done, I thought. Steu and Kindl just fantastic, as were Bots and Plume, but quite rightly, the winners, the Tobys, with all that experience behind them, but a very, very deserving winner's circle of teams that have all stepped onto the top step of the podium this year, which has made it such an exciting race series. You don't want to see the same team every week going on the top step of the podium. And I feel it's been nicely shared between the teams. So we're nearly ready to wrap up. Hopefully we're going to hear from the winners in just a few minutes. But let's just take a look at what we saw today on the track, because it was something special. The Tobys rolling back the years as they always do.
They're just enjoying the season. I have this feeling. It looks so easy for them. Of course, they are struggling, especially from the beginning in Lillehammer. They had a lot of problems and issues with the track, but now in the end of the season, it seems like they are so relaxed and enjoying it, and they know they don't have to do this, but they love what they do.
This is true. The only men's doubles team to win gold on this track. They won it in the Olympics, and they've won it in this return World Cup 3 years later. Fantastic sliding from the Tobys, and really keeping cool under pressure.
Yes.
Because I guess, you know, even though they've been down this road before 5 times previously, the pressure must never get any less.
And the World Cup here in China, especially on a track where you've won gold before. How do you feel?
Oh, we feel successful. No, we feel amazing. This both runs was very nice. We take good lines. We had fun racing against the others, and we are just happy and proud of the 6th overall World Cup.
It was an amazing season overall for you. How do you look back on a strong season for you?
Yeah, it was a strong season. It was an amazing season with a big end, and we are totally proud of it. And we had a very good training during the summer, and we are still fit on the start. And I think that's the key to success, getting fast on the start and having fun. That's the most important thing. Thank you very much for cheering us, and we are proud. Thank you.
So our World Cup winners, our overall winners. And I think for me, the message in that interview was how important it is to still be having fun in this sport.
Yeah, it's one of the key to have fun in the sport. It isn't often, of course, we have discussion about the material. Of course, we have discussion about the athletics and the mental break, and now you need fun.
So, I've been Mark Hatton. Diana Eitberger joined me today. Thank you so much, Diana. It's always great having you in the commentary box. We're going to be back in just about 25 minutes. That's 6:20 p.m. local time with the men's singles. But you've just witnessed history being made by Wendl and Arlt in the men's doubles. But we'll be seeing you in 25 minutes.